handgun that you sell to criminals, but instead of the bullets killing, the bullets cure cancer. I don't know, guys. These are all solid ideas, but I just don't think any of them are the big idea. Yeah.
Hold on a minute, fellas. I think I might be onto something. Now, I've been toying with this idea for months now, and I think I might be big. Here it is. Okay, so we're all familiar with the concept of girls, right?
Sure.
So you take girls, and you start with the assumption that they are in their natural state, not being wild. And then you record them on camera, where they might alter their conduct from not wild to wild. And then you sell the videos all over the world. Now, I haven't come up with a name for the idea yet, but I think it should somehow incorporate the plural form of the word girl, some conjugation of the word to go, and then cap it off with said girl's resulting wildness.
I don't know, mysterious host. The idea sounds okay in theory, but do you honestly think any decent American would pay their hard-earned money to watch such pointless garbage?
Yeah, you're probably right. It's a lousy idea. Hey, we gotta run. We're late for the Barbershop Quartet National Championship.
Was that your note?
Yeah, Mom.
Oh, I thought you were on.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we gotta run. Would you mind throwing this idea in the trash can? Thanks.
Wait, you lied to him that it was a bad idea and then stole the idea? I did. The idea made millions, did it not? Bajillions. And so the proof was in that box. The proof that you achieved your wealth and success not from your own moxie, but by stealing the idea for Girls Gone Wild from your own best friend. Yes, I'm a phony, okay? But Mysterious Host would have ruined me. Ruined me. So you killed him? No! I may have committed crimes, but never murder. Maybe yes, maybe no. You may have been the killer pompous millionaire. It's certainly possible. You had the motive and definitely the means, given the walls are covered in knives. But the murderer could have also been wealthy dowager. Me? You're barking up the wrong tree, Inspector. Am I? Well, then do you mind telling us about your special society?
Have you no decency?
I do not.
You are inexplicably omniscient.
I'm waiting, Miss Dowager.
Well, I suppose there's no avoiding it. I belong to a special society of ladies who are known for wearing certain articles of clothing.
Ah, the Red Hat Society.
Red hats! Get red hats!
No, not the Red Hat Society. The Poolside Widows. We're a select group of wealthy dowagers who meet every Monday to drink tea, sew mittens, and make emphatic statements.
And that is why toilet paper has no place in public schools.
Very emphatically put, Margaret.
Why, thank you.
I don't know about you, but I think Puerto Rico is far too small to be considered a continent.
I know. Attention, ladies. I'd like to take this moment to set aside our mittens and emphatically delivered yet unsubstantiated opinions and raise a toast to wealthy dowager who has graciously allowed us into her home for this week's meeting.
Speech! I'm just honored to be here. As a young girl, I never dreamed I'd someday be a member of an exclusive society of wealthy dowagers. who wear pool equipment.
Dreams do come true.
As is our tradition, we will now take the time to pay respects to our late husbands. Phyllis, if you would do the honors.
Dear late husbands, we want to thank you for leaving us all that money. Amen.
Mom, what is that?
Son, why are you home so early?
Categories practice was canceled. What's that urn for?
It's, well, how do I put this?
I'll handle this, dear. There's no easy way to say this, little one, but this is your father.
My father? What are you talking about? He's upstairs.
Yes, my dear. We all make our way to heaven at some point.
No, I mean, he's in his bedroom.
I know. All of God's children must eventually reach eternal rest.
He's watching CSI Miami.
You're on your own with that one.
Misty, honey, can I talk to you for a minute?
So sad.
That poor young man, in such denial.
By the way, fabulous floaties. Who are you wearing?
They're Wang.
I don't understand.
Son, I'm not sure there's any way to sugarcoat this, so I'll cut right to the chase. I'm pretending your father is dead in order to take part in an exclusive club of widows who wear pool equipment.
Oh.
I know that must sound crazy.
Actually, the same thing happened to Frank last week.
Odd. What is it, son? Tell me what you're thinking.
I just can't believe I didn't see the signs. You locking Dad upstairs every time we have guests over, him never meeting your friends, his funeral.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner.
Then what's in the urn?
Garlic powder.
I've got to tell Dad.
Mysterious Benjamin Holst, you stop right there! The poolside widows mean everything to me. Your father wouldn't understand. Don't do this to me, son. Don't do this to me. So what happened next? I begged him to keep my secret, and he did. But it appears tonight he changed his mind.
And the garlic powder filter was in that box?
Most likely. If the poolside widows ever found out the truth, they'd throw me out of the group faster than you can say lifeguard whistle.
Life? That is fast.
So to save face, you killed your own son.
Heavens no! He's my own flesh and blood. And while I'm guilty of wearing sunscreen indoors, I'm not guilty of murder.
And yet, ye be seeming none too somber that your own flesh and blood just walk the plank. Figuratively.
Well, you know what they say. You never want your child to outlive you.
Actually, there's a good reason why I do not appear distraught. You see, I was born with a rare condition that prevents me from showing emotion when something bad happens.
That's odd.
Somebody tell me something awful. Oh, the Dow dropped 200 points today. See? That's weird.
Well, you may still have been the killer, wealthy dowager, despite your probably fake rare disease. It's certainly possible. You had the motive and definitely the means, given the walls are covered in knives. But the murderer could have also been respected general.
Me? You're barking up the wrong tree, Inspector.
Am I? Well then, do you mind describing to us why you were discharged from military service?
Correction. I retired.
Is that so? Keep in mind, respected general, you're under oath.
No, I'm not.
Oh. Well, then could you pretend you're under oath?
Very well, but only because I like make-believe. It was 1992, the 6th and final year of the American-Canadian War.
America never went to war with Canada.
Your mother never went to war with Canada. We were in the war room, putting together the finishing touches on our strategy for the Battle of Winnipeg. I remember it so clearly.
Which means that prior to into assault like Antobia, I strongly believe that most viable option will be to assemble our inventory for North Indian skill flying wedge.
Interesting idea, Captain. But would you be open to the suggestion that we thrust forward past Riding Mountain before attempting a 500-man pincer movement?
Pincer movement to achieve full tactical envelopment.
Exactly.
Yes, it's perfect.
Well done, gentlemen. I do believe our plan is finally in place. We'll finally crush those Canadian dogs. Huzzah!
There is one open question remaining, General. We haven't yet decided whether or not we should begin by flanking the Chesterfield forces from the south.
I think we should. It seems our best option.
I disagree, Lieutenant. It's too risky if the Canucks decide to do a full Modi defense.
So what do you think, General? Should we flank from the south?
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Would you excuse me for just a moment? I have to use the men's room.
That's so odd.
What?
Having knows General leaves her restroom right before he makes every major decision.
He's right, you know. That's his 28th trip this morning.
Gentlemen, I ask you to cut the General some slack, given he follows you off like 10 snaps a day. But while we're waiting, do you guys want to have a pillow fight?
Yay!
Should we flank from the south? Think, respected, think. I just don't know. This decision may easily be the turning point for the entire war. Well, I'd better consult my inside source. Should we flank from the south? All signs point to yes. It's settled then. Sergeant Host,
You're a phony! A phony!
What have I done? What have I done?
You used a magic 8-ball to make a military decision.
I needed a second opinion. Such tactics weren't so uncommon in military history. Every good war scholar knows that General Grant would have surrendered at Gettysburg were it not for his Ouija board. But these are modern times, and I am far from a modern man. Nowadays, military leaders turn to technological devices I simply don't understand, like the worldwide interweb.
And mouse pads.
So what happened?
Well, Sergeant Host was chagrined, but he chose to sweep my secret under the rug for the good of the country. His demands in return were that I, A, retire immediately, B, forfeit the 8-ball, and C, give him one of my legendary back rubs.
And so you were concerned that your magic 8-ball is inside that box and your good name would be tarnished in the history books for all time.
Yes, but I am no murderer. Anyone can tell you that. Even a small black sphere with an 8 on it could tell you that.
Regardless, I still put forth that you, respected general, may have been the murderer. It's certainly possible you had the motive and definitely the means, given the walls are covered in knives. But the murderer could have also been boy band reject.
Me? You're barking up the wrong tree, Inspector.
Am I? Well then, would you mind